Yes, we were muted. We quickly had to finish a discussion from stuff behind the scenes. So sorry about that, guys. I'm a bit late, but I am here now. We're all going to enjoy the flight, I'm sure. McTrying and I were just talking about the autopilot. There seems to be a bit of strain on some of the pilots, but the short answer is, it's never been enforced before, and guys must just learn how to fly it properly now. It's part of the education, it's part of the deal. Even the PMD does exactly this. So I'm not sure why it's so difficult for somebody to understand this is how it's done in the real world, and we must just, comply. Apparently in PMDG you can switch the function off. So I'm not sure which one is default and which one is not default there, but it's irrelevant. This is the Zibo. So, guys, it's not difficult. If you can get the crosshair and if you can get it in the middle of that display on those black bars at the side, it's gonna engage. You must just not have pressure on the column, on your yoke, then and trim it properly. That's why all the information is available. So anyway, enough of that discussion. Let me greet everybody that I haven't greeted yet. Jan, thank you for joining. And if you're going to fly in the real world, enjoy that. If it's on the sim, enjoy that too. Bebo, you're talking about your PC there.
Can I just make a quick comment on what you've just been talking about, Nico?
Yeah.
I'm going to be very blunt, I make no apology for it. The Zibo has always said it was going to make it as real as it comes.
Mm.
For those that don't want to make it as real as it comes, in other words, get in there and just fly, go back to the default 737.
Yeah, Uncle John. That's a difficult one. Obviously, that's your personal opinion, but I hear your sentiment. It's not that difficult. I think we must just teach the guys how to do it properly. So when we get there in this flight, I'm going to pause the flight and I'm going to basically take a screenshot and share it with any and everybody who wants to see exactly what it should look like. Because I think that's one of the things that's missing is the mental picture. What are they aiming for? What must it look like? So let's get that to the guys as well. And obviously, anybody is free to go to any other aircraft. Go fly whatever you want. But
But of
that,
course, that, but of course, that goes without saying.
yeah,
For those that really want to learn to fly it, fly it for what it was designed and how it works.
exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, there are other shortcuts, and this is what me and McTrying was talking about. And I said to him, it's not to be disrespectful. I don't want to share other shortcuts and tricks. It's not about a trick, it's about flying it properly. So we'll leave it at that. Right, so Jan, well, enjoy that and enjoy going home and spending time with your family. But if you can stay here a while, that'll be cool. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so we are at Valencia and we are going to fly from Valencia to Santander. All right, that's the plan. The airport that you're looking at is stock standard. As far as I know, it was made by Chris Reed for the gateway. So thank you, Chris. And it looks kind of nice, really. It does for a default airport, not bad. Okay, so being late and all means that I never finished planning the flight um, at all. I've done 3/4 of it in some brief, and the rest I simply did not do. So I'm going to start doing the planning and see where we end up with and what we are going to do. As far as I know, we have runway 30 at this airport and 29 at the other one. So let's get going. I'm going to put it up on the screen. All right, so that is Navigraph and our two airports. So let's start opening the charts here. Hakan, you're going to have to speak up. We can't hear you.
Hello, by the way, I said.
Okay, hello, Hakan.
I can.
Just want to see if there's any specific runway operations that we need to be aware of. Don't think a small airport like this will have much use for them. does not appear to be, so we'll use the wind as our guidance. Right, we're on stand 1. Apparently that belongs to Ryanair in the real world as well. And that will be runway 30, where we will take off from. I'm going to use the auto route function to get a route. There we go.
Nico,
Yeah, okay.
I was World Tour 2020 announced for your information. If you have time, check the legs.
Okay.
Maybe we can fly. Maybe we can fly
Yeah,
together.
yeah. All right.
Uh,
Okay.
one
Okay, that's
flight.
something to consider. I can after the stream I'll go have a look there. Iveo's World Tour is always nice. I mean, I've done 2 of
Okay.
them already.
Okay. Thank you and enjoy your time.
Thanks, Hakan. Right, so it looks like we've got this straight direct out to our waypoint. That's very nice of these people. What is this thing called? Rolls. That's one. And it's the other one. Not much difference. I don't see a difference. I don't know what the difference would be, so this one actually looks like it's going further than the other one. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's got a little bit extra, so let's use this one then. Right, there's no moving map that we can use, so that's fine, we'll skip it. And then we're going to do the VOR DME on runway 29. And it appears to include a hold. Right. That's, oops, no, that's the briefing. That's the airport. Right, it's going straight in on 29. Not what I wanted. Okay, just going to export that quickly. And then we're going to drag our sim brief into view. I want to copy that flight. Let me just show you how I do it. Wrong one, type route. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to include the SID and star. Control C to copy. I'm just going to go Shift V or Control V, I beg your pardon. Control V, and then we've got it in there. Let's just analyze that route. It should be fine because Navigraph made it. Hello, Captain. Phil, all good, thank you. How are you doing? I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. I do not have a single dropped frame on my side. There's no warning. You know, usually I would get warnings and stuff telling me that it's not talking to the server, so it's possibly a YouTube issue. All right.
Nico, you should check banner overlay setting.
Yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there. I'm starting fresh now.
Okay.
Let's quickly have a look. See, were they talking flight level 370? How many packs? 160. So that'll be full. 370 370.
The
Right.
difference between those rolls approaches is the IAF.
Okay. That cargo seems a bit much, man. I don't know. Let's try it. Thanks, McTrying. What else do we need? Nothing. Can compile this one. Right, with that done, we can now go back to some toolkit. And we can actually close this, yes. Minimize that. Flight planning, load the latest sim brief. And there we go, we've got everything in place. Right, just double checking, that one needs to be Ryanair, 9 Bravo Hotel, offline, yeah, that's fine, close, yeah. Fly. Right, so there's the OFP and everything we need, so we can get going.
Right, as an update again on those two arrivals, it's continuous descent or not continuous descent.
Okay, I didn't look at the actual charts. Let's have a look see. Let's go have a look see. The actual chart. I suppose this is, no, well, this is one of them. Let's have a look at the other one.
I have a problem with the plugins. When I changed to one plugin to
The
microphone,
star, not the
Okay,
not
sorry.
the arrival.
Alright, sorry about that. We'll get the, Hakan, sorry, you were talking and McTrying was talking.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead, please.
He's done. Talk to me.
Yeah, I have a problem with the plugin. For example, I use what is that Hopperler, okay?
Yeah.
Plugin normally. When I try to talk with you, I change to headphones and microphones, okay?
Yeah.
When I change to input, I lose Explain 11's sound.
It has happened to me too. That's one of the reasons why I've been restarting some of my streams, because I continuously have an issue now where if I don't test my sound before, prior to starting streaming, and then I start plugging plugs and changing settings, I lose my sound. McTrying?
Do you know why
Yes.
it is happening?
No, I don't. I really don't. I swear every time it happens.
Same.
Yeah. McTrying, okay. Too many things at once. If we look at roll 4E, on the arrival, we've got the K and the E, right? That's the one you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to the K one. It's a pity we don't have something that is, overlaid. All right, okay. So you say the one is continuous descending. I suppose it's the other one because that's got more detail. This one just stops.
That one says continuous descent. Look.
Wait.
Top right hand side, where it gives the listing. Runway 29 continuous descent. Runway 11 continuous descent. And if you turn the chart 90 degrees left, you'll see it top left. on the, unless you could read on the side,
Mhm.
where it says a Beto 1K.
Yeah. Oh, there it says continuous descent. All right. Okay. Yeah, I prefer that. Otherwise, you're gonna have that step, step, step down. Yeah, this is actually better. All right. Well,
And
let's
the
put
other
it in
one,
place.
there's no reference to continuous descent.
Yeah. The other one is
And
probably.
also, if you notice on that one, the IAF starts at Ampere. If you look at the other one, you've got two IAFs.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna settle on this one then. Just get it over with.
Yep, I couldn't make a choice one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's completely up.
That's
As
fine.
long as it marries up with your approach, that's all that matters.
Yeah. It's just the end's different. That's all. All right. Okay. So let's look at our loading. Payload is 19.6. Hello, phones. 0.6. And the fuel is 5.8. All right. Let's stop the refueling.
Yeah, I noticed Zibo's fixed that dome light as well.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
lit when the batteries are off anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to show you guys something else I've been playing with. If you start your Zibo, you will notice standby power and your bus power is already, the guard is closed. All right. If you go to your flight recorder, you will see your guard is closed already. So there was an interesting question on the forum, which I replied to and then started investigating and playing with. All right. And it's related to the settings here. When you go to your states to save a state. Now you can manage the aircraft presets and all these kind of things. But if you go to manage your state presets, you can actually create your own cold and dark preset. So all you do is, I started this way, I clicked on a reset to make sure that everything's factory default. Then what I did was I went and I set all my switches the way I wanted them, those ones that I just showed you, and then I came back here, I clicked on save cold and dark switch state. Alright, and I clicked on load the preset number one just to make sure it works, and then I think I made a mistake there because I think these two actually work together, so that's kind of irrelevant. Alright, went back, reset them again, clicked the cold and dark, to save it after I set them, and lo and behold, it actually works very nicely. It remembers exactly the switches that I switched. And I think this for me is a nice new toy that I'm going to play with a little bit just to get my head around it and so on. But I think it's fairly easy. Getting all the rest, you can reset, set the switches, save it, and the next time you load your Zibo, you will also see in your explain root folder, there's a new file that gets created the moment you do that. It's called B738X underscore state.dat. That file gets created the moment you click on the save button. And in that file, you will probably not understand what it says, but it's basically got all the numbers in place, to signify which little switch you pulled or pushed or whatever.
Nice
So
find.
yeah, nice.
I think most of us have missed that.
Yeah, I think so too, because it's an advanced thing. Not everybody's got the appetite for it, So if you don't look for something, you're not gonna find it. But anyway, this for me was a good find, and I mean I put some screenshots on there. You can then have two different sets. Obviously, I think that this is what this is about. So you can have a set one where, for instance, battery would be on, and set two battery would be off when you start the Zibo. So that's just an example. But yeah, that's what that is all about in there. Manage state presets. I think if we really go through patch 99's manual and we really go and click every button and start figuring out what they do to that level, we're going to be surprised what Zibo's actually put in here. The aircraft presets I've already used, like for instance in my schematics livery, what I do is I would fly in ICAO territory and also in FAA territory. So what I did was I created the ICAO preset on number 1 and the FAA preset on that one. And the only difference is just I don't have to click on the altimeter barrow setting to change it from hectopascal to millibars, and that's just something I also played with. Let's quickly get them to clean the plane while we continue with this. I thought you'd like that, Dwayne.
Yeah, I don't have a problem because I've got my default set as I was. I hadn't realised that was where they were stored. I must admit, as for the inches or extra password thing, that's stored in the livery, so you can alter that.
Yeah.
And also the kilograms and pounds are set it up a bit livery.
Definitely, for sure. That's the whole point behind it. Is that better, Trip? I was flying the Piper earlier, and I obviously had the throttles in the wrong position for the Zibos. And my sound's off. I can't hear it now. You should shout earlier. Remember, the guys on Discord cannot hear the stream. Only you guys can hear the aircraft sounds. Nobody else here this side can hear it because it interferes. And I don't like to hear myself echo all the time. So yeah, that's one of those things. Right, let's step through this. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, there's the old. Look, explain explain uses the default sound card, whatever it is. And if you put the default card to your headset because you're listening music or watching YouTube, and then you start explain, it's going to put the engine sounds in your headphones. If you put your default sound card to your headphones before for communication, and then you have your external speakers as the default for normal sounds, it will obviously use the default for normal sounds and put the speakers on. Right, my reserves is looking, I'm just going to round it to 2. Cost index will be 6. 370, definitely for sure. 293 at 32 and 3. Nice.
Guys, Davy is on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, welcome aboard our flight today. We're wrapping up the final paperwork here to get you on your way momentarily. I want to thank you so much for your company and business. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Again, welcome aboard.
To 96 and 37. Okay, guys, so if you look at your takeoff performance page, this is your first clue for your takeoff. Your trim is 4.75. Previously, in some other models, I used to have to add a little bit just to get the proper feel. At this point in time, I'm doing it as close as possible. So if we trim that wheel and we get to somewhere there, should be about right. It's an approximate guess, all right? But the fact of the matter is you need to try and be as close to that as possible. All right. Yes, I did. 0.6%. Right, so that's your first clue. Make sure your trim is actually properly set up. Let's quickly see the METAR 1026. 1026 and the elevation is 240. Close enough. Let's quickly see what we got from active sky. And by the way, I've disabled the weather for some Tuki Pro to fly active sky again. I don't like that discrepancy. Let's quickly have a look. See LEVC. LEVC. Okay. Loading. Alright, so active sky is in agreement with us. Alright, I don't know who else, which one of you guys fly for virtual Ryanair, but I'm completely unable to start my smart cars. It's just not working. So I'm not sure if there's any way to actually log this thing apart from a manual PyRep, so we'll have to do that afterwards. Abhishek, I'll show you just now where I get that. So this is Sim Toolkit Pro. There's two ways to get it. I'll tell you now there's another way as well. But basically, there's your runway slope. Tells you 0.6. That will obviously be 0.62, which is insignificant to us. So 0.6. And because it's a positive, it's an uphill. If it's a negative value like that one over there, the arrival runway, that's downhill. That's uphill. And then what you can also do is you can actually go into my private hangar link that's below the video. There's a link, a whole bunch of links. One of them is the private hangar, and then you can actually go and grab this Excel spreadsheet, and then you can fill in the information yourself, and it will also calculate it for you. This is obviously from a previous flight, so it's irrelevant to us, but the calculator is there. So if you don't have Sim Toolkit Pro, grab that calculator. Alright, so there's no need to wait the 20 minutes then for the VA. We're going to have to either manually file or redo, so we'll have a look, see what we do, but we can continue.
Captain Hatch on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until all carrying items are properly put away, all overhead bins are closed, and all passengers are seated.
Ground to cockpit. Please, show me where you want to go.
That's a good question. I actually didn't check. I'm guessing. Hold on. We actually want to go the other way.
Ground to cockpit. CALCE knowledge. Coming through the menu when you are ready.
Bitrip V2 plus 15 and V2 plus 20 is a personal choice or an SOP, or it could be related to that specific take-off, and it's usually done when the guys do not use VNAV on takeoff. I prefer to use VNAV on takeoff. So if we cancel VNAV and we're going to use the LNAV only, what will happen is we're going to fly the aircraft until 1000 foot AGL. We're then going to switch on Command A. That will automatically enable level change plus the speed. And what the guys do is they up the speed, you know, to wherever. I didn't pay attention, so it's 69. That's plus 20 will be 69. Alright, so what happens is the moment level change kicks in and the autopilot takes command of the aircraft, it will pitch to either accelerate or decelerate to gain or reduce speed to that level. Now what you don't want to do is to be too slow when that happens, and that's why the guys would use either 15 or 20 depending on that departure and whatever SOP they're using at the time. And the reason I don't add any values, I put VNAV on, and the moment I hit Toga, this aircraft automatically calculates everything. And once I enable the autopilot just above 400 feet, everything is already sorted for me. I have no issue then thereafter to worry about speed. I can actually request, and we
Ground to cockpit. Tau is driving up.
also tell these guys to move away and close our doors. Right, so there you go.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross check and all call, thank you.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Board boarding door has been closed. Once again, we're doing all passengers to remain seated at this time. Please double check the security of your seatbelt. All electronic devices will need to be turned off to away this time.
Still connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Open the doors for departure and cross check.
Starting pushback and you may start engines.
I love how he says onions. Onions. Can't exactly say it the same, but I love how he pronounces onions. Onions. That's so cool. Uncle John, are you alright?
I am, sir. I am. Thank you for asking.
Awesome.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
I have a loose window, it sounds like. I need to go and fix that one. Hold on, while he's disconnecting, I'm just gonna go tie down that window.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
I'm back.
Are you going to reset that speed, Nico?
No, I'm actually gonna do that. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's rather do that. I wanna show the other guys. It's not necessary, Uncle John. The moment I'm gonna click on VNAV, it will take over when we press tow guide. It will change it to whatever it needs. Right there, that guy goes. Got
Just as
all
well
those.
you secured the window, otherwise you might not have been able to get pressurization.
Well, exactly, McTry. Right. Yorkie, the VNAV thing is an interesting thing. I can actually change that speed to 100. It's going to make no difference when you fly on VNAV. The only time it has a bearing is when you're going to use level change during takeoff. Literally the moment you press TOGA, it goes into the takeoff go around mode, which is absolutely calculated, scientifically correct way of doing the takeoff and the go around, and it will calculate all the speeds for you. So yeah, it's much of a muchness on VNAV. The reason I do set anything in there is because not everybody has that knowledge, and you are bound to get somebody that's going to complain, oh, this guy is supposed to be so clever, and look, he didn't set the V speed, you know.
Plus the fact, if you haven't got fixed within 5 degrees of the runway heading, you won't get the.
Yeah, that too. So there are rules and rules and rules.
Or is it just LNAV?
No, that's LNAV supposed to be, come to think of it. But the rule for the TOGA for VNAV, you know, is press the button if you use the button. And guys, please remember, N1 is not TOGA. You know how many times I watch streams of other streamers and they go and they press that button and they think it's TOGA. It's not. It's just N1. That's a raw engine power. There's no calculations, nothing happening. Yorkie, it brings me back to McTrying and myself's conversation earlier. You know, there are so many little tidbits we can share, but we don't want to, you know, confuse the subject, basically. You know, so that's the background. Oh yes, overlay description. Yes, I was warned about that earlier as well. So LEVC. What's it? What on earth is this place called?
LEVC, LEXJ.
Ryanair, RYR. I'm going to use any number now because it's not for the VA. This is just unfortunate, but it's not authenticating.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Approaching 30.
I'm actually using XP Realistic. E-check I used before I bought XP Realistic, but no longer.
On runway 30.
Right. TOGA. Oh, what a flat piece of earth, eh?
80 knots.
Yeah.
V1 rotate. Positive rate.
use that Corsair the whole time. Crossair.
Terrain.
400.
The bloody memory is called Corsair,
Terrain.
and I was talking about it yesterday as well.
Terrain.
Crossair. That's what I'm looking for.
1,000.
Right, so what I'm going to do is just... That's not focused, why not? Now that I want to take a photo, I'm not getting precisely enough. I'm pressing the wrong button, that's why. Alright, let me just take a screenshot. Unpause it and switch on the pilot on. Screenshot. See what that screenshot looks like. Yeah, I suppose it's usable. Alright, I think that will be helpful for the next generation to get them up to speed where to enable that autopilot.
Once become a habit to set that to gauge what the pilot feels to get certain things different.
Yeah, exactly. It's new. So that's all different and new. McTrying, it'll be old hat in 2 days if the guys start
Yeah.
using it properly. Then they're gonna forget about it. It's like driving a car. I mean, I remember I've taught a few people how to drive, and I remember when I started driving. If you just do it slowly and keep control, you're okay. But it's when you lose control that you freak out and things like that. And things just do it slow, take it slowly. You know, and then in a day or 3, you get on the road with your learner's license, and then you go, and then you think to yourself, how can anybody fall asleep behind the wheel? Wait 10 years when it's all that. It's easy to fall asleep behind the wheel. those. Love my clouds. Okay, so what else can you guys tell me today? I mean, I'm just sitting
Right.
here lazy
Can
flying.
you move in on your exit? Don't go go closer. Right. Question. Should the course, tracking course, light be shown? Because as soon as you start to alter your tracking course, the light shows. Should it be showing at this moment in time?
Not that I know of, no. Not that I know of. It's only when you start changing the weather that it shows. It's like it's got a timer on it and then it goes away.
I've no idea from real experience. See, now you can see it.
We're trying.
I,
When
it's something, if you know a real pilot, I ask the question.
well, I've been in the cabin a few times now. Completely stared at the screen. I've never seen that line ever until they
Just
changed.
just disappear very after so maybe it is.
I don't know if I told you the story last time that I was in the cockpit. The guys here fly at 160. That's the resolution that they fly at because of the distance between Cape Town and Johannesburg. The funny thing is, there was, I wish I'd on the wrong side now, there was an aircraft, the DCAS picked up an aircraft there. It was coming, it was coming straight for us. I started getting concerned because these guys start, they talk a lot. I mean, they're having a big social there in that cockpit. It's not like us, scrutinizing everything all the time. And I actually got a bit nervous when it got to about this point where the mouse is there. And then my eye caught onto the fact that it's 160. So I said to the guy, please just change the resolution. I just want to see that traffic. I want it to sound like a scaredy cat. I mean, he actually zoomed into a decent level. It showed me that traffic was somewhere there. It's way off, but because of the scale. And I mean, that was one of the instances. I sat and I tracked that traffic for over 100 miles. I mean, that was impressive. And I was getting worried, man, but no, I didn't see any extra lines. The thing that did surprise me, and I don't know why, but I've never liked the range rings. Now that I see the guys use the range rings even here in South Africa in the real world, now I've made peace with them, but I hate the range rings, or I used to hate the range rings. Yeah, I actually went to my PMPG the other day and I actually enabled them, because when I started flying and I didn't have them, it was like something missing. So they kind of Abhishek, thank you.
Did you expect this from Apple's
Yes.
You've got to look to see what your out range.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, Abhishek, I don't know if you know about Experialistic, but I just thought maybe you want to just Google Experialistic. You'll see what's moving the cockpit like this. And then Robert, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the family, and I hope you're going to enjoy it here. Steve, yeah, that's a good question. I'll answer you now. Go for it, McTrine.
We'll answer that.
How far are we? Ooh, there isn't much of a cruise, so we're going to get up, have to immediately start planning and get back down. Alright, let's get this toolkit up quickly. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to your fleet, and you're going to go to manage your fleet airframe there at the top. top right hand side. Sorry, you guys can't see it now because of the overlay at the top, but it's at the top right hand side. It says manage fleet. You go in there, it's going to read all your aircraft. And it takes a while. And I don't have that many aircraft, but it still takes a while. Right, so there's the aircraft. Then you go to airframe manager. This is the ones that's going to be pushed to SimBrief. So what you do is you go and you add an airframe if you don't have an airframe. In my instance, I've got one and I can actually go and edit things in here. So I can then add the SimBrief aircraft data the way it should be. So this is coming from Sim Toolkit Pro. This is what's going to be pushed into SimBrief to do our calculations and stuff. Right? So I've named it something specific, Zibo 738. Alright, so that I recall the name. Then I go to my back to my aircraft. Obviously you would have done this already. Then in the aircraft that I want to make use of that profile, I actually go and select the profile. Is it not? I thought it was here. Yes, it is. It is airframe. I'm looking absolutely into my own eyelids here. So remember, I called it Zibo 738. So the airframe, I'm specifying Zibo 738, which is the one we were looking at earlier. So now that aircraft is now married to that SimBrief profile. Right. So when I go to my flight planning, there's another little place, exactly the same as in the aircraft, where you specify the airframe. Alright, so then you're obviously going to choose this aircraft, but this aircraft is now linked to the other aircraft, so it's like a double layer kind of a thing. One's linked into another, like a little train. And then the moment you push your flight planning through to SimBrief, obviously it's going to use this airframe. The other way of doing it is what I did today. I actually have a Zibo airframe with exactly the same specs in my SimBrief. So while I'm unable to create the SimBrief OFP from STKP, I actually now go to SimBrief and just try, at some point in time it allows me to make my OFP. That is obviously also made on the Zibo profile, and then I just import it back into STKP. So those are the two ways of doing it. Hope that helps.
My comment I was going to make was also about the remember you couldn't see me yesterday?
Yes.
I think the reason was I put a flight plan in yesterday, but I haven't clicked flight now.
Okay, yes.
That makes sense to you.
Perfect sense, yes. Because it's not tracking you then, it's only on your own system.
Exactly.
This is the first time in my life I'm flying this route. If I ever fly it again, I'm not climbing above 330. There's no point. It's too short. I mean, we're going to be past Madrid or close to Madrid before we even get to the top of Clyman. I mean, we're not going to have a very long cruise.
Do you realise there are quite a lot of Ryanair flights, short ones, where, and even some easy they're top of the climb, they're there for less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it must be more economical.
I suppose. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it.
I tracking one, a Ryanair one, something, I can't remember Liverpool or something. It was a proper climb for 3 minutes.
Wow. Well, while we're sitting here and waiting, we might as well actually look at this approach then. Right, so our decision height is 1,800 meters. We are going to descend to 3,200, but there is a hold. So we need to be at Sorbo, that one there, at 6,000, and then we're going to keep on descending in the hold until we reach 5,100, and then we're going to step down to land. That's going to be interesting. I haven't done one of these, and I haven't done many in my life, but I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm going to see how this balance that. Right, so 115.3 on the VOR. It's not a requirement, but it's a nice to have, so I'm going to dial it in, and then we're going to have our final approach course 291. Go around, altitude will be 4,000. Alright, and if Ian is available, which I presume it will be, we're going to just follow the Ian approach and treat it like a normal Cat 1 ILS. Oh, that doesn't help. I haven't reached top of the climb, I'm missing the distance brain now. Sorry, Zibo.
I must admit, I was trying to 7. It's got egg.
Go what? I could, but I'm different.
Okay.
Well,
I've got no problem with change, but also egg knots.
okay, well, the next one we'll look at the Ignos.
Of course, you could do a color now.
I think we ought to do an Ignos.
Guys.
Bells gonna go.
Okay, Hakan. Against one, you know.
Ignos.
I'm quite happy with the VOR. Back in my day, that was all you had.
Something didn't look right there, something bounced. Let's see. Amber. Yeah, they. I thought I noticed something bounced. Amazing how your eye picks up that it moves backwards, just quick. Ha! Right, well, we shall do that.
Now it's
Yeah, look what I'm looking at. 50029. So 291, 5,000 for the go around, 2,500 for the descent, 397 for decision height 150. Alright. Yes, we are at the cruise. Our packs are released. Everybody is happy. So now we can set out the seat. 2,100. One, zero, zero, two, nine. Go around. Alright, now we don't have holds or anything. Magic keys. Okay. Now we have 77 nautical miles from the top of DC. That's cool. So, Uncle John,
Thank you, sir.
just checking that you're happy.
Of course I'm happy. Send you a PM, Mac. Fair comment.
What the hell? I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly, but that's the same. Just missed it. By the way, Mac, I haven't done a go around in the new version, but there's been a couple of versions where the toga button killed the autopilot on go around. So I'm not sure if this one does it or not. Maybe it's been fixed.
Can it do it? I don't know. Got time?
I don't- we can try it.
Yeah, do a go round.
And the other thing about doing around, if you hit it twice, it doesn't continue. got a AP disconnect switch on
I do.
the control?
So the first one drops the bar, the second one cancels the noise. But the way it works is it will then lift the bar. It will put that disengage bar back.
Yeah.
And then it,
Engage
no, it does not. Not at all. Still remains on. Close. Well, this is better than just a 3-minute top of climb, but still a bit short.
How far away is the top of this?
About 43 nauticals now.
How about showing everybody sailing together? Depending on descend now.
Okay.
Well, we all know that in real life it does happen because it saves sudden change.
Yeah, look, the last time you told me to do it or asked me to do it, it did work. Right, but that's quite a few versions ago, so let's just give it another bash.
It's supposed to make the transition in real flight smooth and
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah. I can't believe it, my coffee's finished.
Do you want a refill?
Yes, please, 2 sugars this time.
Only
Is
2.
Is McDonald's open?
Oh yeah,
Excuse me, I don't give me McDonald's. Don't give them that rubbish.
Right, let's also look at the rest of the setup here. We need to drop approximately 600 kilograms. 7 times 30,000 is forecast length. Transition altitude is 6,000. That's correct, that's fine. Then ISA is 9. QNH 1023. So if you put it in the place, past it, it's this one instead. Right, so that takes care of our LEVC and descent planning for us. 91 is the correct course. We've got the radio. Yep. Alright, so I'm happy. Alright, the only thing we don't have is the kilometer setting. Right, so that takes care of everything on the primary flight display for us. Progress done. Yep. And we are 11 nautical miles, so I'm going to go descent and descent now, execute. So it's going to start a 1,000 foot per minute descent slowly but surely across the window. Right, and then what's going to happen is once we get to our descent profile, it will then latch onto it and take it further in.
I have never used that before.
If you press the send button now, show that helping the bloke. That. No, that's it.
It's not showing all the data yet because we are now below the path, so I'm not sure if this is a mistake right now, not sure, but it should show it shortly. There you can see the discrepancy. We actually more than 1,000 foot below the glide path already. Maybe that is like out of scope. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Instead of it being just a straight sharp angle at the top of the because you're already, it's like, it makes it as gentle over
It goes put on it. It's a shallower
Angle.
descent.
Yeah, shallow much. See, now it's busy catching up again. You see there, it's coming back closer. And once it hits 0, that diamond will be in the middle and it will be exactly on the glide path.
the angle or going down again.
Yeah. There's the little triangle coming. You see, it's going to catch up now. The diamond's busy coming down. Retard.
Physically seeing. Look at the angle of it increasing.
Look there, it's got the white bar is now. Oh no, sorry, I was talking nonsense. I actually got excited. It was just the shadow. I was just thinking, look, as it gets closer, the white, starts to retract, and then I realized it's a freaking shadow.
What you like?
Hey, I almost thought I discovered something.
But of course, you've got no waypoints in that range. If you're
Yeah,
to
there's
your right, you should show the next waypoint.
Yeah, it's not. Look, let's keep this screen on for a while, and then we'll see what happens as we get closer.
It should be showing the next
Yeah, it's like it's not showing all the data, and I don't know why. Because I also recall it needs to show a little bit more information.
I know why. At the moment, that data is full. Once the altitude should be there is below the scale of that of the plane. That next waypoint. So eventually it should show.
It should somewhere. That's why I said let's leave it on and then we can keep an eye on it as we fly and see how the display
Yeah,
changes.
leave it on that. Yeah. So at the moment it's showing the next output is below the, on the left. There's a
Yes.
little magenta bullet below the bottom of the scale.
And it's way down low.
As you get closer, just pop.
Uncle John, there is so many facets and tricks and buttons and things that do things that we just don't use as flight simulators. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I'm sure. But the more you use it, the more you get to see them.
Yeah, I'm just thought I'd point out something because it was quite important on the screen.
Of course.
Shown to another people.
It's nice, thank you.
Well, some of it want to try using no balls on the
Ah,
Why did you have to say that?
we love all.
We do. But it's when he suddenly turns up as we're about to land. And then all hell lets loose.
hello, Robert, and thank you so much. Much appreciated for the tip there. It really helps a lot.
Well, we must be adding something to the screen. People want to tip something, you know. Not saying it is deserved, but
Yeah, I know. Thing is, this is my Sunday afternoon cruise, so it's not really an educational cruise. It's just me relaxing. But when the guys ask me questions,
Become educational.
it does, yeah. So when the guys come, I just adapt and I give, you know. And
well, we have to do something. We can't have you falling off having a nap.
of course.
Yeah.
And for the other 19 guys on the stream, you guys don't be shy. If you need to ask something or say something, you guys are more than welcome to start chatting with us. And if you want to join us on Discord, it's open. The link is below the video. Just follow it. Come join us. As long as we stay on topic in the discussion, I don't mind.
Yeah.
You said it.
John would welcome a few more people in Discord just to shut that bloke up trying.
Yeah.
I'm going to say nothing.
Reserve the right to remain silent. Also, just as a matter of interest, it seems that auto throttle engage lock throttle is now working again, because look where my throttles, the hardware throttles, are actually at. Those little blue markers there, those triangles, that's the actual hardware, and you see it's not interfering again. That's awesome. I think that's also one of the things he fixed, because in 13D it definitely didn't work.
That's a big
No, obviously. But in the real aircraft, the throttles are motorized, so they always stand where they are. They go and stand exactly where they should be. In the
They
sim,
match.
yeah, they match. In the sim.
Well,
It's,
we hope they match.
But if they don't, you're not going to have the power.
yeah, or you're gonna have too much power.
See, these modern aircraft, you don't have joys. Now you've got fade out, it's all electronic control. In the old days, the two throttles never used to match sideways.
Yeah, because yeah, I know. In the props especially, they don't match. You've got to set them up individually. I know the engines
so
are around the same.
each aircraft, until it has an engine change or a prop change, you just get used to little different.
But remember now in this aircraft the fade deck controls it. And so even if there is a discrepancy, you won't see it here. It's going to be handled behind the scenes by the computer. So
That's what I said. All the old features from aircraft, the little anomalies, it's all cold.
Yeah. There's your extra data coming into play. Now you can see the ground and you can see things.
It's still. Oh, I don't know whether it shows weight.
No, it doesn't show weight at all.
I didn't notice that. That's where it showed.
No, it didn't. Not that
I had a feeling it was supposed to show the waypoint. So.
I think you're right, but I went with my even block for that.
This is one of the reasons why one day the throttle manufacturers will incorporate a little couple of servers or something within them that will do the match.
I just received a message from somebody, a real world pilot. He says to me, shh, don't tell Zibo, but I think his autopilot engagement is still too forgiving. I won't tell him, don't worry. Zibo, if you're watching, you didn't hear that. See that restriction, the restriction is in them, right? That's what that restriction is all about, that line, that magenta there.
Yeah.
Uncle John, can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to file a flight plan or anything. Just open your Ryanair smart cars. Mine keeps on giving me an authentication error. I can't open this thing, so I can't lock this flight again. So I'll have to do it again.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Oh, I love this area. Wow. You know, one of the airports that I really miss from the Ryanair schedule is Bilbao. I really miss flying there. It's in EasyJet, so I can take the Airbus there, but not the Boeing. Sad, man. Sad.
Well, you can.
But then I can't file it.
Just do it.
Yes, sir, it is working.
So then it's probably still something with my internet connection. It's just point blank refusing to open. It comes up with an authentication.
is all go? Or
Yes, yeah. This is what- And this is also level 17. Oh, yes, fonts, exactly as described there, but there is the center CTR button. So you press it once, press it twice, and then it brings up your profile for you. Thank you, Bedrip. Keep on forgetting that we actually have a HUD in this aircraft. I think I've used it once in my whole entire life to land in the Zibo. Once.
I'll tell you what, that HUD's looking a lot clearer than when you first introduced it.
Yeah. There was a user created mod to make it look even better, and I can't find it now. I think he's recalled it, so. But this is not bad.
No, that's definitely improved from the original.
Right, we've got Ian there. It's picked up our Ian already. Sorry, this will be EGNOS. I took nonsense. We changed that because I wanted to do the VOR with Ian. So now we're going to do the EGNOS. There's the diamonds already coming into play. By the way, you guys on Discord, I was looking for better scenery for Barcelona, and I don't know how I missed the one that I have now put into Discord. If you go to your nice to haves and you go to the freeway scene, you must check out that Barcelona. LEBL, very, very freaking nice scene.
Okay.
Who I just thought about is Krister. I actually miss his chats. I suppose he's busy. Alright, at the next deceleration point, we can start also looking at adding some flaps. Slow down first. Oh, this is beautiful. I do Bedrip. I do not have that enabled on my throttle quadrant. I actually use the number 3 and number 4 on my keyboard. You know, the top horizontal line, those numbers, and that's what I use for my spoilers. When I used to have the 6 lever throttle quadrant from CH products, I had that enabled and it worked perfectly fine. You might have a problem with your pods, I don't know. I mean, to troubleshoot that is a guess. Right, so auto brake 2, I think I'm going to make that 3 because I'm not familiar with the runway. Right, we have got our speed brake, it is armed. Lights, ignition, sets.
The seatbelt sign has been switched on. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been switched off.
I never played that prepare for landing, it's such a shame. Yes sir, do that. Number 4, let me just show you quickly. If you press number 4 it extends them, number 3 retracts them. So you just play with 3 is going to the left and 4 is going to the right kind of thing.
Thousand to go.
Look how beautiful it sits on those diamonds. Lovely. There's the runway, it's just come inside for me. Very nice view. I like this area. This is one of the reasons I also like flying to Bilbao. The view is stunning. The kind of hills and stuff that you get is just really nice. Right, we are in landing configuration. Flaps 30, spoilers on, the brake 3 on, lights are done, 3 green on, gears. We are ready to land. Right, only thing we have not done is set our go around altitude of 5000. Right, so at this point in time I can actually start doing it, but I want to give you guys another visual cue. So on the scale there, do you see there's a little white line that's coming? Typically and usually when that thing starts to appear, you can, you know, go and change your altitude with ease and grace. It should not have any effect on the actual descent of the aircraft.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
1000 feet, stabilized approach, Mr. Altitude set. Mr. Approach, altitude set. There we go. Right, feet on the pedals. Trays stowed, seats upright. Guys, make sure you are tightly fastened in those seatbelts. Right, I'm going to try that go around for you,
Approaching
alright?
29.
Well, I just let sense of that VOR.
Nah, it's fine. We'll see what happens. I hope the Doga works now, because the Doga for sure did not work a few
Approaching
minutes ago.
minimums.
That's minimums. There's Toga. Alright, at the moment we do that, the pilot
Minimums.
disconnects. So now, my job is to now make sure that we track our gears. Flaps 15. Right, and keep control of the aircraft, because that is one thing that I've lost a few times. So we are going to try with the autopilot back on. Level change needs to come on. Alright, and then what we're going to do is to stabilize. Got heading select, we're going to go to LNAV. Let's just find its path. And it's still climbing, so what we're going to do is make sure we use the vertical speed. Actually, I don't want it to climb too fast. Right, so we climb at 2000. Let's just switch the gears off. Okay. Right, so I had much more control. It didn't do that big yo-yo thing. It's very nice how you can process it yourselves. I'm going to go level change. We're not going to worry about the vertical speed. Let's let the level change actually work it out for us. Much better option. Next time I won't even touch that. It's not necessary. Level change is all what it's about, and so it should turn around now when it gets to that next waypoint, and then we can set up the next approach. It's obviously going to go into a hole there by Resva, I think it was what I saw. You know, these silly black cats who run across the runway. One of the things that's just come into my mind when trying, which is obviously the reason you have to hand fly this, is you can't actually have the autopilot on below 400. That's why it kicks out. So it's not a fault, it's not a mistake, it's supposed to do that. You need to control this aircraft until you are in a position to re-engage the pilot.
Yeah.
So I actually had the wrong impression, if I can put it that way. I'm glad.
Mind you worked out.
Yeah, I was down to minimums, and minimums is 397. So it's borderline McDrawing. I literally waited until about then. Okay, it's not actually following LNAV for some reason. Not sure why.
I don't know. Has it got? Is it supposed to go to res?
Yes. So now I'm just reactivating.
Yeah.
Just going back to LNAV. He did not accept LNAV from the beginning.
I say I couldn't see the turn.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Fonts, thank you. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to do a go around now and then. One of these days, I'm not going to promise anything right now, but one of these days we are in fact going to do a divert to your secondary airport as well, because I don't think any flight simmer really does that. You know, it's just something me and McTrying have been talking about. It would be nice to show the guys how to move over and go to your secondary. If you have a problem.
Also bring your fuel reserves and everything like that in the fire pit.
Yeah. This thing actually gave me the using reserve fuels now, the moment we went to the go around. So it is aware that in the reserves now. So we've got 2 tons. It's actually premature. Look, the reserve fuel is actually 2 and we've got 2.7, but it did say using reserve fuel. I don't know if that's like a normal prompt that you get on a go around, but this is definitely not in the reserve fuel yet. Anyway, so let's go back to our arrival page. We want to do VDM 29, Ampur, and execute, and we will then leave a Resva. We can actually do that, skip the hold. So we're going to go direct a Resva, turn back onto the approach, then we'll use the Ian approach. So we can get our VOR going. And again guys, the VOR that I'm setting up here, that is not a requirement, it's just a visual cue. It does not affect the Ian operation. It's just a cue. Oh, fonts, yeah. Sorry, now I've deleted this one. Now we can look at something like that in future as well. The default holds that is in the FMC is always like it's too shallow, too sharp, I don't know, too small. So I usually extend it to a 2-minute, hold, which just makes it easier for the aircraft to handle as well. I've just noticed VNAV is available, so we might as well use it. Right, flaps are up now. Just going to speed up the process a little bit. Wow, look at this. It's a surprise. Beautiful. Yeah, I love my authors, man. Yeah. Hello, Ryan. Ah, look, 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 it didn't actually cancel the hold. So what's going to happen now, it's going to use a 1 minute leg, and it's going to do a right turn, inbound 145 degrees. So it's going to turn onto it now. And I'm going to leave it until we see that it's impossible to hold it, and we can increase the leg time to 2 minutes. But that, for me, that's about the only thing that I change. Right, the other thing that is worth changing is the speed, because 250 knots at the 1 minute hold is too much. That's just too fast. I mean, it's not going to hold it. Actually, it looks like it went past. It did.
In actual fact, the hold is max to get off.
Exactly. That's totally wrong. It actually is ignoring that hold completely. So when I skipped the initial leg of that hold, it obviously changed. It killed it. It drew it, but it killed it in actual fact.
You don't have to reset to 2,500.
I do. In fact, if I go to the VOR approach, I need to set to 3,200 for its intercept. 32, and our minimums changes to 1,800. This XP realistic really moves this cockpit and the click spots a lot.
Just a thought, Bingo, because this delete that whole pack. Did you actually press execute after
Change the link, yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I did, because I didn't want to go into the hold, and then I saw, oh, but hang on, it's still drawing it again now all of a sudden. Oh, for Pete's sake, come on, 2 more. There you go, 1,800, set to 3.2, and there is the top of descent that has been calculated for us, so we're going to start descending very soon. What we are going to do at this point in time, let's open braid's going to slow down for us, because it's at 250. We can in fact interview, why don't we just interview? I'm just thinking out loud here. We can also probably use descent now. No, it's not going to allow us. Oops. Okay, now I've messed up. Alright, let's trust the calculations. Let's see what it's going to do now, because it's definitely supposed to slow down. There, yes, it did do that. So come on, speed brake. There we go. Right, I was just in too much of a hurry. Right, and to slow down the aircraft more, what I'm going to do is use my gears. I'm not going to break my flaps off to slow down. I'm just going to use the gears. Alright, flaps 1.
1,000 to go.
Right, now opposed to EGNOS, we are now using Ian on the VOR DME, and we're going to have to simulate ILS, which means we're going to have to press approach button once it is in range. almost. Alright, there's the approach button, and now we've got control of our speed again. Right, I'm going to leave the speed brake extended, so we'll just slow down to that speed, then I will put it back into the armed mode. Ryan, I'm okay, how are you doing? HGD is Afrikaans for gaan dit, how are you? That's how are you? Speed brake is on
I
again.
use that all the time now, Annika.
What?
Approaching minimums.
HGD.
Minimums.
Right, well, we've got the runway in sight, so we are legal to land. Just going to continue now. Gear is down. Flaps 30. Slow down, slow down. Yeah, but then not crosswind. I'm trying. We'll see. We'll see.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
I don't think we're going to need it, but you know what, just to be true to ourselves, let's just put it in there, play by the book. Right, let me match my throttles to the throttles and get rid of that one.
Approaching 29.
Tell you what, I should have disconnected the autopilot just a little bit earlier to get a better feel for the wind, but I didn't do too badly. We're okay.
80 knots.
JR, the world rests upon your shoulders, sir.
Again?
Yes. You can mail it to me, don't worry. We'll take Royal Mail in a week or two. We'll find out if you don't want it.
It's Sunday, it's my day off.
Okay, well, you win.
What is really sad is he didn't say he was
I watched every bit of it. Don't you start giving me that rubbish, Mac.
He's fighting.
Oh. Don't worry, Uncle John, I've got your back. Well guys, welcome to Santander and thank you for flying to go around with us. That silly cat that ran onto the runway is probably mincemeat by now. Someone else might have landed on top of him. We did not, so he's fine and the aircraft's fine.
Yeah, the guy behind you ran him over.
Yeah, I thought so. Right, so we did an EGNOS approach and we did an Ian approach with VOR DME. That was nice. That's nice. That's good value for money, I think.
Cut my holiday short now though, because we're late.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, Joe. Thank you so much. Thank you,
No,
Fons, and thank you,
that was
Peter.
a very nice stream.
Thank you. Yeah, not bad for a lazy Sunday afternoon. Abdul Rahman, hello. I'll just park at the gate and then we'll do a bit of a replay. Abdul Rahman, yes, I've got both VATSIM and IVEO. I am not online at this point in time. This is just for me playing around. I see VATSIM is listed there on the overhead, but I'm not online at all. By the way, last night's flight, guys, VATSIM never recognized it. It's not being propagated as such through the network, because I looked at my signature on the Zibo forum. It's not showing at all. Maybe they're late or something, but it's not showing at all. Yeah. Right, let's go park. Let this baby do sleep and then go replay. Thanks, Yorkie. Thanks for enjoying it with me, guys. I saw 15 was out. I wanted to tell you guys on stream, but then we got busy again. I haven't even downloaded or looked at the readme. Right, this is actually one of these circle turn things. Oh,
the download has exceeded already.
Yeah, just make a copy to your own drive, man.
Oh yeah, I know how to sort.
I'm just gonna park here. I'm not even gonna attempt that whole turnaround thing. Not good. Right, get our lights back on, APU on and engines off. It's in my drive already. I really need to go edit the settings to get rid of this reflection again.
Sorry, Nico, where did you say the Barcelona scenery was?
It's supposed to be in the freeware scenery section in Nice to Haves, just above our heads here, Uncle John. And you know what?
It's not there.
Yeah. I must have pasted in one of the other rooms, or I forgot. I was talking nonsense. Hold on, I'll give it to you just now. It's awesome freaking scenery.
I thought it was me going Lulu again.
No, probably me. Sorry, I apologize. I'll give it to the guys on stream here as well. If you guys ever want to see nice scenery from Barcelona, there you go. And here, Uncle John.
Bless you, sir.
Yeah, I've been so busy. I didn't see this replay. I didn't see the actual touchdown. That looks nice.
Just a quick Nico. 4 options in the download files. Is it the top one?
All of them, Uncle John, and you need to put all of them next to each other when you do the extraction.
whole 4 downloads you've got to do.
All 4 downloads, they go sit next to each other, and then you run the exe. That will extract them into a Barcelona folder. That folder that gets extracted, you put into your custom
Yeah,
C.
I can see it now. Sorry, I don't know what it is.
You can actually advertise it on stream.
What?
Dash 15. Add option APU yoke neutral in the FB. Real equals 10% tolerance, the same as 3.39.14.
Yeah.
Simple or simply is 25% tolerance for
For,
neutral position.
okay, all right, guys. So if you heard that, let me just explain quickly. There is now an option in the EFB, in the Zibo tablet, where you can set your autopilot to real or simple. That's how easy it is. Simple will be the way it used to be for the guys who are struggling, and the real will be for us guys who want to take it to the next level and make it real. So Zibo has given us basically the same kind of feature that PMDG has in this regard. So you can choose which one you want, real or simple, to engage your autopilot. Thank you, McTrying.
It just goes to show that while Zebo's trying to, achieve reality, he does listen to the
Yes,
more novice streamers and try and cater for them as.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to watch this landing again. I just love this landing. Let's give it a bit more. All right. Okay, I've just edited the Zibo a little bit to take away that reflection. I also just want to reload it to see if it's taken it. Oh, my soul. It wasn't too bad. I really recovered nicely. Lovely, lovely. Let's see if this works without crashing the Zibo now. Yep, no crash. So the whole trick with this crash after the replay or with the replay is you need to get out of the replay by pulling that slider completely to the right and then exiting the replay. There you go, all done. So let's quickly load the 172. Let's see if that reflections is gone. If it's that easy. I know you have to restart, so it might be that I have to restart, but I'm taking a fat chance now just to reload it.
So you put all those files in all those four containers all in one.
You put them next to each other in a folder, whether it be your desktop, doesn't matter. They all need to be next to each other. Then you run the exe. It will then find the other files and also extract them for you and give you the complete scenery in a new separate created folder, which you then move into your custom
Bless you,
scenery.
thank you.
Ah, understood. Now it's going to crash out and we have to start over. The F mod didn't unload. I don't have an AI aircraft with the Zibo in there, so it just means the Zibo didn't unload completely. Sorry guys, okay, it's going to take another 10 or so minutes. I don't expect you guys to wait around. But what I am going to do quickly is just show you the recipe if you would like to do the same. So basically what it means is you go to your Zibo. There's the description at the top. So I would recommend coming back at some point in time, just pausing the video if you need to. You go to the affected aircraft. It works on any aircraft. And then what you do is you go to objects. In objects, you go to cabin. And then you find the glass interior OBJ file. All right. You cannot use Notepad. Please make sure not Windows Notepad. It will mess the file up and your Windows, your Zibo will have a problem. You need to use a program like the one I've got here. This is Note++. Then you're going to right click on it. You're going to say edit in Notepad, and then you find this line. By default, the specular is 1.0. It looks like that. All right. And all you need to do to get rid of the reflections is go 0.0. Save the file, and as you can see, please restart your simulator because it didn't like just to go to another aircraft and then come back to the Zibo. So don't do what I do what I say, kind of a thing. And then once I restart my explain now, which is going to take at least 10 minutes, so I won't bore you with that, that the reflection in the cabin window should be gone. And then I'm going to load my 15 quickly. Right. You're welcome to stick around, by the way. I'll leave the stream on. I'm going to go and check out 15 quickly. So you are, more than welcome to stick around. If I take my display capture off, it just disappears. So we'll let it run.
And if you want to know that APU yoke neutral things in the realism setting.
Thanks, Mike. Trying. I figured as much. I just ordered some cool drink. I'm dying of thirst. Yeah, it is high 30s. Where I'm sitting, it's probably a good 35, 36 degrees. Yeah, it's very hot.
Well, if it was -20, you'd be complaining.
Exactly. Well, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's time to drink something because I'm dehydrating now.
No, that's sensible.
Mm. Looks like I'm gonna have to re-download and install this Ryanair thing because it really isn't working. Valencia, LEXJ, I think. Santander, yes. Right, I'm just waiting for um, the hard drive to settle, then we'll grab the Zibo again. Hello, hello, Dougal. Yes, yeah. Long time, long time. Nice to see you again. I am well, hope you are too. We're just horsing around now. We had a good flight, I think, and so we're just checking out the new Zibo version 15 and also a setting change I made. Also want to check another setting change that I did make, so we're going to use the Skymatics library for that. I want to see if that save state is actually shared, because the way it's written, it's supposed to be shared. We should have the same buttons saved. That's what I had in the beginning.
Oh, noticed something else. You know when you go to performance takeoff,
Uh-huh.
you click the wind window open,
Mm.
you don't have to press an MFK button anymore. It's actually a slow key.
Mm. Dougal, we did, but in version 15, Zibo is now given an option where you can choose if you want the realism setting on or not. And that's one of the things we're going to look at now. So
The only thing I haven't worked out is the outside air temperature, whether you can input Fahrenheit.
I suppose it would depend on what your explain is set up as. All right, look
Uh,
here, look here, look here, look here. The state works. The state actually is now transcending through the different models. The Um, guards are open. So that's cool. That's cool. All right. So, oh, first things first. There you go. There you guys can see by doing that little trick. The reflections have been removed from the windows. Yay! So now we don't have the map and the throttles and the displays in the windows. Awesome. Windows are still there. It didn't remove the windows. It's removed the reflections. I hope that helps somebody today. Okay, give me a second, guys. Ah, man, this is nice. Cool drink with ice, man. All right. Yeah, Dougal. The guys work hard. I mean, even my little bit that I do, it takes some effort, and also it's nice to just get a thank you sometime. Thanks. Um, Zibo always says when I thank him, he always said, as long as you enjoy it. And that's his answer, so I'm going to say the same to you. As long as you enjoy it. Right, so let's have a look, see what's happening here. Configure realism. AP yoke neutral. Alright, so that is the new setting, and you can have it on a real or simply, as he puts it. If you put it on simply, you have, let me get the correct thing here, you have a 25% tolerance. If you put it on a real, you have a 10% tolerance. So it's up to you which one you want to use. If you want to go back to using simply, then you obviously have to choose it and use it. Okay, let's go to weight, fuel, and balance. I don't know, 16 is my favorite value there. Let's go to the next one and the next one. Alright, these are all still the same. Okay, I'm thinking out loud now. Let's not go there. Performance takeoff. Where did you say? Under dry, wet, or the winds? You say winds. All right. So now you can just put the calculated stuff in there. Is that what you meant earlier, McTrying?
No, yeah, press on wind
I did.
and
Okay, the
you
calculator.
you see you got a slant instead of where the MFP button
Oh, a
was
slant. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
down the
Sorry.
bottom.
Got it.
So
Got it.
you put your wind, your radial stroke wind velocity
Got it.
or speed.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Flaps
Quick
5.
question about that one, and I'm not certain it's realistic. Where it says Q&H, I'm not aware of anywhere where a point um, of
Is
a
used.
Q&H is used. I'm not certain that's a valid number.
Um.
It's 110, 111, 112. They don't
Yeah.
use point anywhere. Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I may well be wrong.
Yeah. Call. We use either 5 or 10. We do not use 1. 1 is restricted on the 800, but not 5. I've actually never heard that. I actually read the FCOM the other day and actually did investigate it. 1 is restricted on the 800, but not 5. Eh? Yeah, flaps 5. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've never heard flaps 5 being restricted. Flaps 1 definitely. Flaps 5 and flaps 10. Flaps 5 is normal operation and flaps 10 is for short field high altitude. Yeah, that's flaps 1 is definitely restricted for tail strike definitely. Okay, I suppose this will read the airport and the runway from the FMC, right?
It reads the airport. It doesn't read the runway. I
Is
don't
it?
think.
I think I actually saw somebody post it with a runway in there. Okay, but look, I mean, it's not finished. It's not done yet. So he's
If
still,
you click on runway, you get the option to select the runway once
yes,
you've got the airfield put.
gotcha. All right.
In fact, I believe you can put the airport direct into the load.
I can't click. Well, I click there, but it does nothing. I cannot type in there.
Okay, no, okay, no,
Let's
you've
do
got to
this.
do it. But the runway you can definitely select once the airport is filled in.
Hold on. Let's do something crazy while we've got time. Yeah, I agree with that. That looks familiar to what I read in the manual, but um, I think most normal operations in normal conditions that I know of use flaps 5. Um, let's see if we can look at this little thingy. Thanks, Sean.
On
I
runway
took it for granted
17,
that that would be
flaps,
the case.
flaps.
Right, let's start from the beginning. So.
Guys, the lead is on board.
On runway 17, on runway 17.
Cool, cool. I'm not arguing, Carl. I'm just saying what I have on my side of the pond. That is off. That's all set. Let's check these winds 7 knot winds. That's fine.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
On runway 17. On runway 17.
Okay, so every time you click on it, it will change. Our current wind is 190 at 9. Current temperature is 20. And we have 1027. 027. Ah, so we need to go get this ourselves. Fine, perhaps. Got to change that.
Yeah, I haven't got that bit working yet.
64. No, he's still working on it. It's not finished yet. 64.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this.
86. Oh, I need to remember this.
No, go to the last page. No,
What?
the last page.
No, you're confusing me. Last page where we want the takeoff weight. So
Oh, why haven't you got takeoff?
that should be the takeoff weight. 64071. That's where we are at right now. That is the takeoff weight. 64.
No, you've got gross weight. Mine shows TOW, but I'm trying to work out why you're... See where you got LW, TFW, and gross weight above. Well, I've got TOW in that slot, so something you haven't filled in yet.
On runway 17. On runway
Let's do this.
17.
25.7. I have filled in absolutely everything except
Ah, I know what. Have
Right.
you got a arrival and departure air filled in yet
Of course I have.
on your FMC?
Yes. My arrival has been set. Everything
What
is
about-
in place.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of reasons why. Well, there you are, that's mine, currently.
Yeah, okay, I can't look there right now. Give me a second. I'm just going to make this 64 by now. 64.
Ah, you haven't got... Oh, no.
Right, so we're able to fill in, but we still cannot calculate the max and optimum. These two, RTG and ATM, they are not operational yet.
Agreed.
Yeah, this is definitely not operational yet. And I would think, Zibo, wink wink, that this should read the takeoff weights and stuff from the page. It should get it from the sub. We shouldn't put this in, man. That should be a given. Should read it from the previous pages there, somewhere. That's just my opinion.
I tend to agree with you, actually. But having said that, it's not showing TOW anywhere, so in that case, it probably couldn't grab it anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Love in Barcelona, Nico.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's an awesome piece of scenery.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Alright, well,
So
Yeah.
that tablet's becoming more and more interactive with the
Yes.
FMCs.
Yeah, more and more. There's still work to be done, so we'll let Zibo do that and we'll check it out when it's done again. Right, so I'm going to do a circuit here for those guys who are still interested in staying. You are so welcome. Just want to see what it's like flying the new version. You're welcome, Fons. I mean, it's my pleasure, really. I just hope I don't bore you guys, because if you were not watching, I would have done it anyway, so I might as well just show you.
80 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Yeah,
400.
There's very little delay on this
1000.
time round.
I'm glad. I'm fiddling with this autopilot. Wow, it is. Now that he's put it on 10%, this is really sensitive.
But he actually states
I know what he said, but it's not. No, yeah, no, I don't know, I don't know. For me, I mean, look there. I've just flown so many times, never had a single issue. Now I can't get it to actually hook up. It's just not hooking up.
Maybe he's still working on it, Nico.
Mate, he didn't say there wasn't appropriate.
No, I don't know. Right, I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. I cannot get this thing to actually get to work. Let's just turn a little bit more, fiddle with it. Trim it a bit more. You know what I did not do by trying? You're gonna laugh at me now. I never set the trim before takeoff. Trim is out.
There's your answer.
And there it is. Now the trim is in play. There it takes it. I've been preaching put the trim in place the whole freaking 2 days, and I forgot. Sorry, Zibo. Yeah, you are.
You need to apologise to Zibo.
I know, I do. Sorry, Zibo, I do apologise. I was an idiot. No, I clean forgot. If you watch the replay of this last couple of sequences, you'll see I never set the trim before takeoff. So it's doing exactly, you know, what it should do. Okay, but hang on. My range rings are gone. Hello? Why is that? Remember we talked about it just now. I've just realized my range rings are gone. Is this something we set? I don't know. I cannot recall doing anything.
Apart from say that
There we go. Traffic. Yeah, traffic. I didn't have traffic on. Gee whiz. Well, Dougal, good news for you if you are struggling. You can go to the tablet and set the autopilot to simply, which is Zibo's way of saying the previous version. So it's not realistic, and you are more than welcome to use that. If you go to configure realism, AP yoke neutral, there I've got it on the real, so needs to be trimmed and it needs to be in place. Silly Nico. Or
Bells
you can
to
put
go.
it in simply and then it will just be the flight sim shortcut that needs to be in there. Yes, Cole. You see, I've got the same feeling. I want to do it properly. Dougal, I'm busy setting your rights. You will be in a few seconds. There you go. Your rights has been assigned. If you want me to drag you into this room, just come to Skymatics FBO and I'll pull you.
You carry on doing what you want to do, Nico. I'll drag you in.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Hold on. Wow! Zibo! Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
As you say, Zibo never gets bored.
Never.
Yeah. And invariably, Zibo is right, the rest of us.
Exactly. Exactly.
Again.
That's where education comes in. That's why you've got to keep on learning. I mean, I said to him the other day, he humbles me every time I speak with him. Because in one sentence, he just, you know, puts so much information into that one sentence and it downloads into my mind and I go, wow.
Well, it's a good job your mind can take it.
Yeah, I guess I'm blessed. That's fine, Dougal. But you do have the right and the privilege to join us when you feel like it anyway now. Whew. Alright, well.
Now you've got to get it back down again.
I suppose. I never logged my flight in SimToolkit Pro, the previous one we did. Now it's telling me my ETA is 7 hours and 28 minutes to get back to that airport. I never logged it. Oh, that reminds me. That is something that Dan can really put in here. I mean, if you select the option, because you've got two options, you can log block time or flight time. So block time is from push to blocks, and flight time is from off to on. If you select off to on or you set it to blocks, the parking brake should be the one trigger and the other trigger should be wheels on. It should actually, you know, stop the log and actually not do this, because right now I've just basically lost that offline.
I should email him and
Yeah. Alright, let's grab our charts. You know what, I'm gonna do this manually. I'm not gonna bother to set up an ILS. Ooh, that sounds nice, Dougal. All of the ones you see here, zoom level 17, yeah. Right, slowing down. Let's get the backs back on. Check this baby in land. Well, descending. We can land it. Oh, this is going to be so lovely when all of this works.
Nico, question. When it comes to the performance line, do you think default value flat and
Well, for us, yes. I mean, I don't know anybody that lands by default on 4040 is an exception.
That's what I was thinking. It either needs to be blank and force you to select the value, or perhaps it was just a small side comment, not really business.
No, I understand. Trying Google says you need to speak up, you're too quiet.
That's because I don't want to shout Nico's
He's in the kitchen making himself a drink, that's why.
Yeah, the problem is I cannot boost McTrying anymore. I've put 100% on him on Discord. There's nothing I can do to boost him anymore. So if he doesn't speak up, I'm stuck. And I cannot change the broadcasting volume because then Uncle John is really going to scream at everybody without meaning to. I know.
I do apologise.
So you're back to normal again now.
Well, I've moved the microphone again. I want to swallow it.
But that's how an aviation microphone works, you know. You have to put it by your lips, otherwise you get nothing.
No, the headset doesn't sit on the head as comfortably when it in this position.
Oh, okay.
But I take your comment on board.
You say that all the time.
Well, he doesn't speak that quietly all the time in his defense, you know. It's just when he kind of relaxes and don't concentrate, I think.
Well, no, I put the headphones more comfortably on the head and the mic moves away, I think. That's what.
Huh.
It's either that or he's got to get a more sensitive mic.
Well, basically using literally the same model as Nico.
Yeah.
I'm using the same as Nico.
Well, I'm using the model before
Same thing, just the...
Yeah. It's a Corsair one. And it's, you know, Wi-Fi version.
Now you ask me. Don't know. I'll have to look it up.
I can't remember what it is.
No, me either. Mine is called the Void Pro. It's the Void Pro that me and Uncle John has. I don't know if it's got any other distinguishing names, but it's called the Void Pro. No, it's Corsair. Corsair Void Pro. And that's where the whole Corsair story started, when I started speaking about the Crossair in the Zibo PFD. Now I kept on talking about Corsair, because I've got memory that's Corsair, and I've got the headset that's Corsair. And the nice thing about it, it's not on right now. I had to switch it off because of the stream. It made the stream sound terrible when you listen to the other people. It's actually a 7.1 surround sound headset, so it works very well if you switch the mode for first-person shooter games and flight simming and stuff. But it really made the guys on stream here on Discord with me sound terrible, so I switched it back to stereo just to get better quality audio to you guys via the broadcast.
Mac.
What way?
Well, you're live streaming.
Oh, I'm with you. I was doing it to show John, sorry, Nico, that I was getting the toe off the page, not the gross weight. I was trying to work out why he was missing the toe.
Were your engines
1,000
running
feet
already?
stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Could be that. I was already basically on the runway ready to go, you know, so I'm in a different phase of the flight.
Ah, yeah, because you're at the end of the
Approaching
taxi.
17.
Yeah. Well, that goes to show just how much attention to detail there is there. I think we've done this
I think so too. Yes.
5,000 feet remaining.
Lovely.
So, what sort of sweet was that? Was that a Turkish delight or
Yeah.
an
Yeah,
eclair? Or
Turkish delight,
Oh, it's definitely my favorite too. I love it now that this reflection is gone. Oh, look at that shadow. Very nice. Look at those two puffs from the wheels touching down. That's still in the sim. Oh, nice.
I know they've got another two.
Yeah. These two dissipated quickly. I think restarted the replay just too soon, so it was still hanging. Anyway. Well, guys, then welcome to Porto again, and thank you for watching the stream. But I really need to go do something else with my life now, so I shall talk with you guys as soon as possible again. Not sure I'm going to stream again tonight, so you can find me on Twitch in the week, and if there is going to be another stream, it will probably be on Twitch then, because I'll switch over now for tonight, and then in the week Twitch, and next weekend we will be back on YouTube, unless there is something I need to keep for posterity, then we'll be back on YouTube as well. Many thanks, guys. Thank you very much for joining me and the support and everything else. Bye bye for now. See ya.
Wrong way round. Thank you, Nico.
Okay, thanks, Uncle John. Appreciate that.